You like guns?
I prefer to know my own strength.
That's not what I'm paying you for.
Hey guys, Society Reviews here, my review of the film Love Lies Bleeding. The last time Hollywood tried to push a mainstream gay love story onto audiences, they came out with the 2022 film Bros. A film that was so universally reviled and ignored by mainstream audiences, Billy Eichner tried to blame straight people for not wanting to see it, despite the fact that the box office proved that not even gay people cared about his love life. Some of you guys may remember a couple weeks ago, I did a review of a film called Drive-Away Dolls, which was Hollywood's latest attempt at normalizing gay love stories. However, I regret to inform Hollywood that after a few weeks at the movie theaters, only $5 million at the box office, no one was very interested in the story. However, that's not going to stop Hollywood from trying again, because they already knew that they had a second lesbian road trip movie in the works. The only difference is, instead of being a comedy, Love Lies Bleeding tries his hand at being a romantic thriller. If you paid any attention to the marketing of this film, Kristen Stewart wants you to know that this movie is super duper gay. That's not an insult, of course. That's exactly how Stewart goes about promoting this movie. Stewart wanted to be so authentic in telling a queer love story that she even added in helping serving a domestic abuse in order to sell the story. Love Lies Bleeding is a film that is set in the late 1980s. A gym manager named Lou, played by Stewart, spends her day hiding from the world in a gym unclogging toilets. When a drifter named Jackie shows up out of the blue, Lou is immediately infatuated with Jackie, and the two's relationship quickly devolves into sex and steroid use. Lou has a little known secret, however, that she's keeping from Jackie. Lou's father, who is a town criminal played by Ed Harris, has hired Jackie as a waitress as one of his gun ranges. Lou warns Jackie not to get involved with her father, seeing how he has been involved in countless murders over the last several years. However, one night, Lou's sister ends up in the hospital after being beaten by her husband. Jackie lets her roid rage get the best of her, which puts everyone in town on the path to cover up the trail of bodies that are being led along the way. Let's get some of the positives out of the way. Love Lies Bleeding is a significantly better film than other gay romantic stories on the sole basis that this film actually decides to tell a story. The characters in this film are pretty well defined, which gives audiences a little more to bite, rather than the empty setup of just having gay characters for the sake of being gay. Katie O'Brien, who some of you may know from Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania and The Mandalorian, is a standout of this movie. Katie plays the role of Jackie, who plays an emotionally broken bodybuilder who lives a life making one bad decision after another and affects the people around her the most. As a character, there's a lot to like about Jackie. At the same time, many of her decisions make you want to smack your head against the wall. Jackie ends up being by far the most redeemable character in this film, despite her being responsible for multiple murders along the way. Kristen Stewart's character of Lou struggles to be authentic, not because she's not believable as a lesbian, but she's not quite believable as a daughter of a borderline mob boss. Whether intentional or unintentional, the character of Lou turns out to be the textbook definition of daddy issues, giving us a picture into Lou's life, showing her that she never had a chance of a normal life given who raised her. The film has a great pace towards the second half of the movie, but it's a rough road to get there. The biggest flaw with a lot of LGBTQ love stories is the fact that, even from LGBTQ friendly perspectives, the writers often pervert lust for love. The first 40 minutes of this film filled time by a lot of introductions and plenty of gratuitous sex scenes. The story is trying to portray to its audience that these two characters are falling in love with one another. However, the more traumatic elements of this story being sprinkled in, by the time you get to the film's conclusion, you don't really buy that either one of these characters have earned what it means to be considered love. When our two characters finally stop banging one another, the film focuses on two mentally unstable characters and a slow-paced downward spiral of their lives. Because this is an A24 film, there's going to be some division about the artistic choices of the movie, especially the ending, which could be a win for some audiences, at the same time be a loss for others. At the end of the day, Love Lies Bleeding does more right than wrong, and Hollywood has a solid blueprint of how films with gay characters should be laid out in the future. Love Lies Bleeding gets a 3 out of 5.
The excitement in the air is palpable. The atmosphere is electric.